Hi children and hi everyone. In previous video we discussed about the how the electrification is possible by the process of rubbing. By using rubbing process, how we can make them electrification by using different objects. In that video we discussed about that one. Now today I am going to explain about the electrification by induction process. Electrification by induction process. Children, up to now you didn't subscribe my channel. Subscribe my channel. After watching the video, like the video, share the video and comment the video. I am going to the topic now, children. Here, what is mean by electrification? Electrification is nothing but gaining of charges by the objects is called electrification. In previous video I explained that if there is any rubbing process between the glass rod and silk cloth, glass rod becomes as positive and silk cloth becomes as negative. So here that means the two objects will gain the charges. So now here in this video I am going to explain what is a conductor and what is an insulator and how the charges may be gained by the bodies without touching the charged body. So let us go to the topic now here. So all of you know what is current? Flow of electrons. Flow of electrons. So the flow of current is nothing but moving of electrons. Moving of electrons. The free electrons which are in the atoms, they only responsible for the current. So generally we know that different metals, different atoms have different number of valence or free electrons. So based upon the here in an atom, in the middle what we have, nucleus is there. In nucleus what we have, protons and neutrons, and electrons are revolves around the nucleus in particular orbitals. The electrons must be bounded. The nuclear charge is what? Positive. Already we know that electron is having some negative charge, proton is positive charge and neutron is neutral. While the protons in the nucleus, almost all the charge of the nucleus is positive. Around the positive nucleus the electrons are revolves in particular orbital. That's why here in previous class I already told you what's that. Unlike charges repulse each other, like charges always attracts each other. Here nuclear charge is positive, electron charge is negative. Obviously they should be attracts each other. That's why here the electrons which are in the atom, they must be combined together or they must be attracted together by some attractive force between the nucleus and electron. And the electrons which are in the shells very close to the nucleus, they are strongly bonded. They are strongly bonded, and the electrons which are in the valence shell, they are loosely bonded. Why I am telling this means here simply based upon that only here the material should be divided into two types in this case. Now what it is? Conductor and insulator. Conductor means in which metals there are number of valence electrons. Number of valence electrons. So that means valence electrons means what? The valence electrons are loosely bonded to the nucleus. There is less attractive force between the valence electrons and the nucleus. So those can be called as the conductors. And in which material the electrons are strongly bonded to the nucleus. That means there are no valency electrons. No valency electrons. That type of material should be taken as in this case insulator. So simply what we can say conductor means nothing but the body which can allows the current through them. They are called conductors. All metals and human bodies and animal bodies, those should be taken as best example for the conductors. And now insulators. So opposite to that one, conductor means which can allows the current through them, and insulator means which do not allow current through them. That means in those insulators there are no valence electrons. Even though we can apply some external field, then also they do not move. So here for insulator best example is what? Wood. Wood is the best example for insulator. So this is simply about the conductor and insulator. Depend upon the valence electrons in an atom, we can classify the metals or substances like here we know about that conductor and insulators. The conductor means what? In those atoms there are number of valence electrons and they can allow the current through them. They are called conductors. And next thing is what? Which do not allow the current through them, they are called as insulators. Got clarity, children? And now here sharing of electrons, sharing of charges. Sharing of charges with the earth is called grounding or earthing. So we will say generally when use in daily life earth wire we will say that. Here for example we are taking now, this is a positively charged body that should be given to the earth, that should be neutralized. That means here the electrons can move from ground to the conductor. Look here only, this is a positively charged body that should be given to the earth by using some wire. That is what we call earthing. What we call generally earthing. That means here highly positive charge should be given to the earth, after some time it becomes neutral. That type of sharing of charges with the earth is called earthing or grounding. Clear, children? So this is about simply what is conductor and what is insulator. Now we are going to the topic here, induction. What is mean by induction? To understand very simply here, for example, there is some frame. We are taking some sticks like bogi mandalu. So we are making some sticks and we should be pour some kerosene under that one and we are lighting that. Some heat is there. In winter season, when we are just very close to the fire, we will feel some heat. To get the heat energy, there is no necessity of keeping our hand into the flame or fire. So that means what? Just when we are very close to the, we are separated some distance from the fire or flame of the sticks. Then what you can say that even though we are far away from the flame of the fire or some flame of the wooden sticks, then what you have to say? We are getting heat energy. That means there is no contact between the flame and our body. Even though there is no contact between the flame and our body, we are getting heat energy. Like that. Induction means if there is an uncharged conductor, it is there. Uncharged body, it is there. If there is any uncharged conductor, if you can at one place, you have to keep at one place. From that, we have to bring another charged body. For example, this hand is uncharged. Just imagine, this is the uncharged body. And now this is the charged body. When we are bringing this charged body to this one and we are keeping very near to that but not in contact, then on this the charge will be developed. For example, we are bringing the positive charged body, the negative charge will be induced. If you are bringing in the negative charged body, then opposite charge will be produced. So that type of electrification is called induction. There is no contact between the charged body and uncharged body, but the charge will be induced on the uncharged body with the opposite charges of the charged body. Let us see clear here. For example, here again I am using this space. For example, here we are taking, this is a uncharged, this is what? Uncharged body. Uncharged, that means what? Neutral. What do we say? What is mean by uncharged body? Uncharged means any atom is electrically neutral. Any atom is electrically neutral. Neutral means what? sum of the positive charges should be equals to the sum of the negative charges. The amount of positive charge which is available in an atom should be equals to the amount of charge negative, because number of protons equals to number of electrons. That's why atom is electrically neutral. So in this case, we are taking, this is the uncharged conductor. What's that? Uncharged conductor. So here I am giving some, this is name is X. X is what? Uncharged one. After that, I am bringing the one charged conductor. That should be here. I am taking, this is now Y. X is uncharged and this Y is positively charged. What do you say? Positively charged. So this is now charged conductor and this is now uncharged conductor. Clear? While when we are keeping the Y very near to the X, then the opposite charge will be developed on the uncharged conductor. The same amount of opposite charge will be induced on the X. That phenomena is what we call induction. What is that? Induction. That means simply electrification by induction process. For example, in the same example, X is again uncharged and you are taking Y is negative charge. Then in this case, positive charge will be induced on X. Clear, children? Simply you have to remind, induction is nothing but it is a process. In that process, uncharged bodies will be gains the charges because of charged conductors without any contact between them. That is what we call induction process. In our textbook, one simple activity was mentioned, very good explanation there. Let us check. There are some diagrams here. So now this is the induction process that should be shown in diagrams. So this is the first diagram A. Follow the order. This is the A, this is the B, and this is figure number C, and this is figure number D, and this is figure number E. Clear? So we have to understand the induction process very clearly in this case. This is the first one A, this is second diagram B, and this is the third diagram C, and fourth diagram D, and this is fifth one. Clear, children? So in this case, here in figure A, so we are taken A and B. A and B are two metal spheres. Two metal spheres. Metal spheres nothing but, I already told you, all metals are taken as conductors. That's why we are taken two conductors A and B. They are in the shape of sphere. Spherical metals we are taken. Clear? They should be named as A and B. Clear? After that, they should be kept over the insulated stands. Insulated stands. Insulated means what? Does not allow the current through them. That means here there is no current from one stand to the another stand, and they also not correct the current from charges from ball to the or metal to the stand. Clear? They are insulated stand means they do not drag any charges from the sphere, metal spheres to the stands. Clear? A and B are two metal spheres. Those should be kept over a insulated stands. Insulated stands. It's very clear, children. After that, here A and B both, we are not showing any charges. In figure number A, we are not showing any charges. It means that what? Yes, what? They are neutral. They are neutral. They do not have any additional charges. After that, we are taking the glass rod. We are taking the glass rod. I told you, while a glass rod is rubbed with a silk rod, glass rod becomes positive. Glass rod becomes positive. That positive glass rod should be taken, and that should be bringing very close to the A. Very close to the A. Already this is what? Glass rod. Glass rod of what? Glass rod of what? Positive charge. So while we are bringing positive glass rod to the A, then what you observe? we can observe that some electrons which are in the sphere A or conductor A, some of the electrons should be attracted towards positive charge. Already A has electrons. This is the positive charge. In those electrons, some of the electrons should be attracted towards glass tube. That means initially there is no charge. Now what you say? Some electrons are coming to this side. Electrons coming means what is the charge of electron? Negative. That's why the negative charge should be induced on the A. The charges must be here. A is what? Negative charge. Because glass rod is positive, due to that some negative charge will be induced in A. After that, due to the negative charges, the same amount of positive charge will be induced on B. Clear? Negative charge is created because of glass rod on A. The negative charge which is on A, due to that some positive charge will be induced on B. Clear? That means initially both are having no charges, now both are having some charges. The charge of A is negative and charge of B is positive. Got children? So after that you have to observe. Here, watch carefully. Here there is some equilibrium state, it is there. Equilibrium state. What is that? I told you now just only. Some of the electrons are moving towards the surface. That means some more electrons are there. Some more electrons are there. For example, here 20 electrons are there. In that only 10 is towards the glass rod. Remaining 10 only inside there. Because they have bonding electrons. They are bonded by the nucleus. And next thing here, the electrons which are moving towards the glass rod, and already the electrons which are in the A, they should be having some repulsion. They should be having some repulsion. That means these electrons should be attracted by the positive charge of glass rod, and the same electron should be repulsed by the remaining electrons in A. Now that is the equilibrium state. Clear, children? So after that, while we are keeping the glass rod, this is happen up to now, very clear. After that, what I am telling, there is some forces acting on these electrons. Forces acting on the electrons. These electrons are attracted by the positive. That's why some force is acting in this direction. Clear? And at the same time, electrons, these electrons can repulse the number of electrons which are available in the A. That means here the repulsive force is there and attractive force is there. These two should be here same. That's why that state is what? As equilibrium state. At this state, so the B will gain the additional positive charge and A will gain the additional negative charge. At the equilibrium state, B gains the additional charge positive and A gains the additional charge negative. Clear, children? After that, so here they almost, what you observe, now these two are in contact. Observe, A and glass tube is not in contact, but A and B are in contact, very close together. Clear? Then this will be happen. Clear? After that, so in the third diagram C, you can observe diagram B and diagram C, you can observe here both are in contact. In this case, both are not in contact. Both are not in contact. So after that, both are in not contact means what? They are separated. They are separated. The separation also be like this. How? By maintaining this positive glass rod near to the A, we have to maintain them separate. So after that, this is A and this is B. Now these two are separated. How they are separated? By maintaining this glass rod is very close to the A, we both should be separated. And after that, you can remove the glass rod. Here glass rod is there, in this case glass rod is not there. Glass rod is not there. That's why what you have to say, you can observe while the glass rod is there, the electrons are in this side and protons are that side in B. But once we can remove this one, what do you observe? Electrons are shifted to that side and positive charges are moved to this side. That means what? They are unlike charges. They are unlike charges. That's why they can be attract each other. Attract each other. That's why they can appear like this. So after that, after some time, if you can again separate them, here the negative charges and positive charges are uniformly distributed. Negative charges and positive charges uniformly distributed like this. Here the charges on this side is we are showing like this. Now here we are showing like this. The negative charge is uniformly distributed, and in this case also positive charge is uniformly distributed. That means that what? Initially there is no charges on A and B. Finally A and B have some charges. So this is the best example for the induction process. The induction current should be up to at instant of time. So that should be happen suddenly. Clear? So again see once, very simple example we have. What is the example? Induction means what? Induction means what? The process of gaining of charges by uncharged body when the charged body is placed nearer to it. That is what we call as induction. To explain the induction process, we have some diagrams are there. I am briefly explaining that. Initially we are taken two metal spheres A and B, and those should be placed on insulated stands, and initially they have no charges. Clear? After that we are bringing in one positively charged glass rod to the A. Then what you observed on the A, in A some electrons are there, those should be attracted by the positive charges, and due to that some negative positive charge will be created in the B. Clear? You have to observe now these two are in contact. Due to this positive charge, negative charge is developed. Again due to this negative charge, positive charge will be developed on next one. Here after that again they are separated. During the separation also we have to maintain glass rod is very close to the C. Then these two are separated. After that what you have to observe, during the separation also the A is having some additional negative charge and B is having some additional positive charge. And next thing, simply here once we can remove the glass rod, what you observe, there is some negative charges are there and these are the positive charges. These are attracted each other. Why? Because they are unlike charges. If again you can separate them, we can what you get, the electrons are the negative charges are uniformly distributed and positive charge also uniformly distributed. So in this example, explanation or example, initially A and B do not have any charges. Finally they have negative charge and positive charges. This is the best example to understand the induction process. Clear? And next thing here we have some properties of the charge. So here I already told you what is mean by positive charge and what is mean by negative charge. The charges are two types, they are positive charge and negative charge. Clear? For example, in this case, properties of charges. What are the properties of charges? The main properties of charges are, first thing is additive property, conservation of charge and quantization of charge. Additive property, conservation of charge and quantization of charge. Clear? What is mean by additive property? Already we know that another properties of charge. What's that? Like charges always repulse and unlike charges always attracts. So these two also properties of charges. In addition to that, we have three more there: additive property, conservation of charge, and quantization of charge. Here, first thing is I am saying now additive charge. So additive property. For example, this is the one region. This is the one region. Clear? In that region, we are having some charges like Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 or Q5. I must take Q5. Q1 is plus, Q2 is minus, Q3 is minus, Q4 is plus and Q5 also plus. That means Q1 is positive charge, Q2 is negative charge, Q3 is negative and Q4 is positive and Q5 is positive. Then the net charge of this one, the net charge of the region should be taken as Q1 plus, Q2 plus, Q3 plus, Q4 plus, Q5. That means I am writing like this: Q1 is positive and next Q2 is what? Minus Q2 and Q3 is what? Minus Q3 and Q4 is what? Plus Q4 and finally what you have? Q5. That is also plus. So this is the expression for net charge of that field, net charge of that field or that region. Clear? Simply additive properties means that in a space there are so many number of charges, then the equivalent charge of the space or field or region is nothing but algebraic sum of individual charges. That should be called here additive property. In a class, 10 members girls there, 20 members boys there. 10 members girls and 10 members girls, 20 members boys there. Then what is strength of class? 30. So number of students means total girls plus boys, like that. Simply the number of charges which are available in a field, if you can add algebraically, you can add individual charges, then what we get? Net charge. That is what we call additive property. The net charge of a space or field should be written as algebraic sum of individual charges. For example, here I am taking another example. This is here we have some charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 is there. So given that Q1 is equals to 3 coulombs and Q2 is equals to minus 4 coulombs and Q3 is equals to minus 8 coulombs and Q4 is equals to 10 coulombs. Clear? Q1 is plus 3, Q2 is minus 4 and Q3 is minus 8 and Q4 is 10. Coulomb is unit of charge. So then what is net charge? Then what, right? Q net is equals to what, right? Plus 3 plus of minus 4 plus of minus 8 plus 10. Then what do you get? 3 minus 4 minus 8 plus 10. That means what? 3 plus 10, 13 minus 12. Then what do you get? 1 coulomb. This is the net charge. Very simple. We have to add them. Clear? We have 3 coulomb, 4 minus 4 minus 8, 10. Then what we are adding? 1 coulomb. So this is nothing but additive property. Clear? So what is meant by additive property? The algebraic sum of individual charges in the field gives the net charge of the field. That should be called what we call additive property or addition. Simply what we say? Addition. Additive property. Q net is equals to Q1 plus, Q2 plus, Q3 plus, Q4 plus and Q5 and so on. So that is about the additive property. Next thing is what? Conservation of charges. Conservation of charges. So here conservation of charges means nothing but charges neither be created nor be destroyed. Charges neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can move from one body to the another. One body to the another, and the total charge is conserved, remains constant. The total charge of the two bodies must be in same, constant. That is what we call conservation of charge. Like first here, conservation of energy. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can change from one form to the another form, and total mechanical energy remains constant. Same, instead of energy, what you have to say in this now? As charge. Charges neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can move from one to the another, and total charges are same. That is what we call conservation of energy. Look here, very simple. I am taking the example here. This is the glass rod. This is what it is, a glass rod, and this is the silk cloth. I am explaining the conservation of charge on the basis of rubbing process. So here initially both are neutral. Both are neutral. Both are neutral. Clear? While we do not rub the glass rod and silk cloth, initially both are neutral. Initially both are neutral. Clear, children? So after rubbing that, I am showing like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am showing here 10 positive charges. And now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear? So after rubbing the both glass rod and silk cloth, clear? So it becomes as positive, it becomes as negative. Just to understand, I am saying now, initially the glass rod has 30 electrons, and silk cloth has 20 electrons. Total number of electrons how many? 30 plus 20, then what you get? 50 electrons. Clear? So generally when a body becomes positive or when a body becomes negative, if the body can loses the electrons, it becomes positive. If the body can loses the electrons, it becomes positive. If any body will gains the electrons, they becomes as negative. Clear? So that's why initially 30 electrons are there, 30 protons are there. Here 20 electrons are there, 20 protons are there. That's why both are neutral initially. Here during the rubbing process, only negative charges will be moves from one to the another. The protons never moves from one to the another. That's why here after rubbing, when glass rod and silk cloth both are rubbed each other, this one becomes as positive and this one becomes as negative. Then what it means? It loses. Here I am showing that, for example, here I am showing now it loses the 5 electrons. That's why it becomes positive, and it receives the, here this is minus and this is now here plus 5. Glass rod will lose 5 electrons. The same electrons should be received by the silk cloth. That's why here in this case, after losing 5, how many there? Here 25. After gaining 20 plus 5, 25. Here 30 minus 5 and 25 now. Clear? And total number of electrons now what it is? 25 plus 25. Then how many? 50. Initially how many there? 50. Now very simple, the total electrons are same, the number of charges are same, charge is here constant. Here it becomes positive means loses the electrons, it becomes negative means gains the electron. But how it is possible? Electrons are transferred from glass rod to the silk cloth, glass rod to the silk cloth. Clear? It is possible. But here electrons are not generated, not created, just electrons are transferred, just transferred. How they can transfer? During the rubbing process, during the rubbing process they can be transferred. Got my point? So that's why here charges are neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can move from one body to the another, and total charges will be always constant, same. So this is the best example. Initially 30 is there, 20 is there, so if they are, even though 30 20 they are neutral, then number of electrons are 50. Clear? After rubbing process, glass rod will lose 5 electrons and silk cloth gains plus 5 electrons. So loses 5 means here 30 minus 5, 25. Here gains means what? Plus 20 plus 5, that is what? 25. Then again total number of electrons are 25 plus 25. So this is about the conservation of charges. This is the another property. What is meant by conservation of charge? Charges neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can move from one form to one body to the another body, and total charge should be remains constant. Here the bodies will gain charges only because of transfer of electrons, only because of transfer of electrons. They are not about the transfer of protons. And finally we have quantization of charge. Quantization of charge. Here charge unit is what? Coulomb, and its magnitude is 1 coulomb is equals to 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19 coulombs. Here charge of electron, charge of electron is what? 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19 coulombs. This is the charge of one electron. Based upon that, we will find out the charge of any body, charge of any body by using this formula. Q is equals to plus or minus Ne. Q is equals to plus or minus Ne. Q is the charge of the conductor or charge of the body, charge of the conductor, and N means number of electrons, number of electrons. That means here when we know about number of electrons in a conductor, when we know about the number of electrons in a conductor, we can easily explain the charge of the conductor. So for example, here for we are taking one metal that should be having 6 electrons, 6 electrons. Then what do you say? What is charge of this that particular metal, that particular element? 6 into 1.6 into the power of minus 19 coulombs. So here simply N means number of electrons. Clear? And E means what? Magnitude of charge of electron, charge of electron. And Q is what? Charge of the conductor, charge of conductor. So in this way children, if you can know about the number of electrons, we can easily find out the charge of a conductor. That is what we call quantization of charge. The charge of any conductor or the charge of any body is integral multiple of charge of electron. The charge of any conductor is nothing but integral multiple of charge of electron. That should be called quantization of charge. Q is equals to plus or minus Ne, where N values are integers 1, 2, 3 and so on, like that. So N value starts from 1 only. Clear? So here one most important bit is there for you. Find out the number of electrons in 1 coulomb of charge. 2 marks most important. Find out the number of electrons in 1 coulomb of charge. then Q value is taken as 1 coulomb, then 1 coulomb is equals to N into electron. 1 means here N is equal to N into what do you have value 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19, and from that what right N is equals to 1 by 1.6 into 10 power of minus 19. So almost all these values, I think so 6.25 into 10 power of minus 24, like that we have some value is there. So here by doing this we will get the answer 1 by 1.6 into minus 19. So here, so let us to do 1 by 1.6 into, that means what I am writing again 16 into 10 power of minus 20. Then here 100 by 16. 16 6 are 96 and 4. So 6.25 0.625. So 0.625 into 10 power of minus 20, that means 6.25 into 10 power of 18. So like that. Here we will write 6.25 into the power of 18. We will write 6.25 into 625 into, simply we can write 620 into, we will write some 10 power of minus 3, here it is there, very simple 10 power of minus 20 it is there, now it is 10 power of plus 20, then what do you get, 6.25 into the power of 18 we will get. So this is a very another important topic here. So once you will check your answer. So children, this is the class for today. I hope you understand. So if you want to understand any video, any class, you have to watch the class without skipping. That's my request. So after watching this video completely, just go and comment, like and share the video. For every notification, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Children, okay, bye, take care. We will meet in the next class with next important topic. Bye.